Hey guys, here we are again bringing a new saga to the channel. This time we're bringing the saga where we will talk about the true face of the great Zeno-sama and how terrible he looks. Do you really think Zeno was this cute creature you've seen so far? Today, you will meet the real Zeno and what he can be capable of, and the real reason he has hidden his true face. Was it out of fear? Because in this saga, you will have all the answers you're looking for. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Having said all that, turn off the bedroom lights, grab your lunch, and enjoy the video. In the palace of Zeno-sama. Our story starts a long time ago when Zeno-sama created the universes and all life existed in them. Zeno-sama was very proud of all his creation, but unfortunately he couldn't witness life closely yet, because it wasn't evolved enough for that. So he stayed in his palace and waited for his bodyguard and protector angel, the Daishinkan, until the big day arrived. Many years later, after many millennia, life in the universes is finally evolved to the point where Zeno-sama can interact with it. Zeno-sama was in his palace. Zeno-sama was very happy. Never before was Zeno so happy. Zeno said, "Daishinkan, now that my creation has finally evolved enough for me to be able to witness it, I want to see it up close. I want to interact with everything I've created. Will it be fun? Will it be who has cool food and toys? Let's go soon. I'm super excited to see everything up close." Then Daishinkan looks at his master giving a smile and says, "Of course, master. Let's go to the nearest planet right now so that you can see your creation." And then without any difficulties, Daishinkan took Zeno-sama to a nearby planet. On a planet near Zeno's palace. Upon arrival, they went to a village. Zeno-sama was hiding his body with a hood over his body. It wasn't known that the real reason Zeno-sama was wearing a hood, but according to himself, it was because he didn't want to be recognized. So they started to walk around the village. Zeno-sama was very proud. After all, it was his own creation. So even so, Zeno was very impressed with his houses, businesses, and families. After witnessing all of his creations, Zeno-sama feels like going back to the palace. But before that, he looks again at the Daishinkan. Zeno said, "Before we return, I want to buy some very delicious food." Zeno-sama said to Daishinkan, who just looked back at his master. Daishinkan spoke, "Of course, absolutely." So Zeno-sama approaches a stall in the village and asks the price of the fruits that the stall was selling. So unintentionally, Zeno-sama's shoulder ends up dropping one of the fruits. He bends down to pick it up, but when he does so, he accidentally ends up with his hood coming off his head, and the stall seller ends up being very scared with the appearance of Zeno-sama. The seller said, "Run! There's a monster here!" shouted the terrified seller. Zeno-sama ends up not understanding right away what has happened, but when he turned to a citizen who was nearby and asked what was going on, the citizen started to scream and run away too. That's when Zeno-sama noticed. His appearance was extremely frightening. Suddenly he asks Daishinkan to return to the palace immediately. Daishinkan takes his master back after some time resting in the palace and reflecting on what had happened. Zeno-sama found himself very sad. Zeno thought, "How can it be? My own creation feeling threatened by my appearance. That doesn't please me." Daishinkan senses his master's dissatisfaction and approaches him subtly. Daishinkan said, "Master, you are dissatisfied with what happened, isn't it true?" said the Daishinkan while looking at Zeno-sama and saw that he was quite crestfallen. Zeno said, "Yes, that's right. Since I don't have any friends, and you are the closest person to me, I had no idea how ugly I was. Why did you never tell me, Daishinkan? The worst thing I did was to leave my palace. I'm very sad." The Daishinkan said, "Master, for me you are the most beautiful being that exists in the entire universe. We have to remember that the unknown brings fear, and as it was the first time you left home, it created strangeness for other beings. And the more you leave from the palace, the living beings you created will get used to you and your appearance. But I can propose a quick solution for you, Master." Daishinkan said, "See, Master, I have powers in magic, where I can change any form of appearance, and you gave me that power for me. I can give you a new look if that's what you want," said the Daishinkan when he looked at Zeno-sama in a friendly way. Zeno-sama really liked the idea, so he looks at the Daishinkan quite excited and says, "It's a great idea. Let's do this now. I want you to give me a new look that is very user-friendly and doesn't scare my creations," said Zeno-sama very happy. Daishinkan follows Zeno-sama's orders and uses his powers and gives him a new look, a form that closely resembles that of a child. And with that new appearance came also innocence. Zeno-sama is quite happy with his new form because now he won't have to worry about scaring the people he himself had created. Many years later, after the end of the Tournament of Power, many millennia have passed. and we have arrived at the present time. Goku had already met the two Zeno-sama, and they had already consolidated a great friendship. Some time ago, Zeno-sama had asked Goku to go to his palace to then play hide-and-seek. However, at the time, Goku said that he was dealing with some problems and that he could not go at that moment. The problems in question were about from the saga of Goku Black. So Zeno-sama told Goku that he was supposed to go play as soon as he solved his problems. Goku then promised that he would. After some time, Goku solved the problems in question, and now he was free to play with Zeno-sama as he had promised. Goku at that moment was training with the Angel Whis. It was during a break from training that he stopped and decided to think for a while. Goku thought, wow, with the whole mess about Goku Black, I said I couldn't play with Zeno-sama. I'd better go there and do that now, otherwise he might get annoyed, said Goku, remembering his promise. The Angel Whis looks at Goku and gives a light laugh as usual. Whis said, yes, you better go as soon as possible. Goku then removes a very special button from his pocket, which had been given by Zeno-sama himself. Goku then presses one of the sides of the button, and he immediately appears at the door of Zeno-sama's palace. When approaching the entrance, the Costas guards ask him what he would be doing there. Goku then said that he had promised Lord Zeno-sama that he would play hide-and-seek with him as soon as he solved some problems, and that he was there for that. The bodyguards then understand the situation and allow Goku entry. When Goku enters the palace, the two Zeno-samas were notoriously happy, so the two rose from their thrones and squealed like a child receiving a new toy. Zeno said, Goku, you came to play! Zeno too said, our Goku really came to play with us, I can't believe it! Daishinkan looks at Goku and approaches him and said, we were waiting for you, Mr. Goku. Goku says, yes, now I finally finished what I had to do. We can play all day, said Goku with a big smile on his face. Zeno-sama looks at Goku, still quite happy, and says, yay, said both the Zenos, flying into the air around Goku's body. The two are playing hide-and-seek for a long time until at one point Goku ends up finding Zeno's hiding place and touches him, and for a moment Goku ends up seeing his true form. Startled, Goku ends up catching Zeno-sama's hand quickly. Goku said, what was that? Asked Goku. Zeno-sama asks, what was what? Goku said, when I put my hand on you, I ended up seeing a purple-skinned animal with long white hair. And it was a monster with a very scary face. What was that? Daishinkan had also realized that something had happened when Goku touched Zeno-sama, and for Daishinkan there was no doubt. Somehow Goku had made Zeno-sama return to his original form, even in for a moment. Daishinkan thought, what was that? How did Goku manage to break my magic? Unbelievable. Was he able to do that because of the power of Ultra Instinct? Anyway, I have to find a way to solve this for now. Otherwise Zeno-sama might get angry, and it's been a long time since I've seen Zeno-sama angry, and I don't want to see that today, thought the Daishinkan as he looked at Goku very seriously. Daishinkan said, Goku, please don't touch Zeno-sama anymore. Somehow when you do, you end up revealing a very old form of him. I know it can be scary, but I ask you not to tell anyone, okay? And I ask that you not touch Zeno-sama, because I don't know if I can reverse the situation. Goku didn't understand anything, and was very confused at the time, and the only thing Goku could do at that moment was apologize, and then started playing again. But after some time, unintentionally, Goku ends up touching Zeno-sama again, causing his true form to return. The Daishinkan gets nervous and asks Goku to leave the place so he can think of a solution. Goku apologizes and starts to head towards the palace exit, but before he leaves, Zeno-sama gets up and says, "You're not going anywhere," said the two Zeno-samas with a terrifying tone of voice. In the palace of Zeno-sama, Zeno is visibly irritated by Goku's comments and begins to glare at Goku in a sinister manner, and calmly walks towards Goku, who's terrified and nearly paralyzed with fear. Daishinkan noticed the tense atmosphere in the air and was quite undecided on what he was going to do if things go out of hand. The Father of Angels then decides to do nothing and wants to see what happens. Goku didn't understand what was happening before his eyes. Zeno-sama was so irritated that he started exuding exorbitant fighting power, and his skin began to crack. Parts of Zeno's body and face were breaking off, and from inside the carcass a new creature was emerging. His true appearance of Zeno-sama was back. Everyone in the place was witnessing the true and terrifying appearance of Zeno-sama, who had a dark blue skin color, and his hair was snow white mixed with purple. Goku was scared watching all that. The Saiyan was in despair and Zeno was still irritated. Zeno said, "Goku, you'll never want to mention my appearance again, ever. Zeno said, extremely irritated, yelling at Goku and staring him deep in the eyes. Zeno said, "I'm going to give you a single advantage. You better start running." Goku saw that staying there would be bad for him, so he flew away as quickly as possible, leaving Zeno behind. Zeno said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zeno said, whispering very softly, giving Goku a 5-second lead. After finishing talking, Zeno simply disappeared. Goku had been flying for about 5 seconds, always looking back to see if Zeno-sama was in the castle or not. In one of those glances, Goku realized that Zeno was still close to his throne, so he turned his vision to his front. However, he took one last look and Zeno-sama was already at his back. This sight caused Goku to become frightened. Unable to do much besides distance himself, with all his speed, Goku manages to escape and hides among the different rooms of the palace. After hiding, he finds Daishinkan calmly waiting for him. Daishinkan said, "Goku, maybe I have good news, because one of the spells I put on Zeno-sama works as follows. The angrier he gets, the weaker he gets. Take this opportunity, but it doesn't end there. The angrier Zeno-sama gets, the more irrational he gets too. Son Goku, maybe there's a way for you to heal Zeno-sama. I leave the rest in your hands. Good luck," said the Daishinkan, explaining what was happening to Zeno. After finishing his speech, Daishinkan simply disappears from Goku's sight, leaving him thoughtful. But there was no time for Goku to think. Zeno-sama began destroying room by room of the palace they were in, eventually reaching Goku, who started flying again to try to escape. Goku, while being chased by Zeno, began to think about what Daishinkan had said. And he arrived at the bright idea of starting to insult Zeno with his new look. Goku said, "Hey, Zeno, you are horrible! Your appearance is terrible!" shouted Goku while insulting Zeno, who became even angrier. As Goku was insulting Zeno, he ended up getting quite angry, consequently weaker, and Goku could feel it. He could feel Zeno's fighting power diminishing. Zeno said, "You miserable! You will never insult me again! Never again!" said an enraged Zeno, flying towards Goku. Goku started to fly, running away from Zeno, but Goku knew that it would not be so easy to escape from Zeno. Goku tried to hit Zeno with Ki Blast, but nothing was effective. Zeno just dodged or blocked, quite easily. They continued flying and Goku realized that his plan might work. Goku then continued with his taunts towards Zeno-sama. They kept flying and Goku kept throwing taunts, and they got more and more childish. Goku says, "Hey Zeno-sama, you're an ugly, silly banana guy," said Goku, mocking Zeno-sama. Zeno-sama was increasingly angry with Goku's teasing. However much they were becoming more and more childish. Zeno-sama said, "Grr, stop it now. Banana faces you," said Zeno-sama, very stressed while looking at Goku. And little by little they continued. Zeno-sama was getting weaker and more irrational, so that little by little Goku didn't need to try anymore in the provocations. Goku said, "You're very silly, Zeno-sama. I bet you don't even flush the toilet when you go to the bathroom," said Goku, continuing with the teasing. Goku told Zeno that he was very angry and already very weakened, while Zeno-sama just managed to yell at Goku. Zeno said, "Stop it, you fool." When Zeno-sama finished screaming, he ended up falling to the ground because he was too weak to continue flying. He stayed on the ground and saw Goku little by little getting away. Zeno-sama stood there mumbling like a child because he was already quite irrational. Goku seized the opportunity and decided to use teleportation to get out of there. Goku says, "This is my chance. I have to go back to Earth as soon as possible, before things here get worse." Goku then uses his teleportation to return to Earth, and without even thinking about it ends up going to Vegeta's house. But as he was already very desperate with the situation, he ends up being teleported inside Vegeta's house. Goku inside Vegeta's house started flying through several corridors of the house and ended up hitting a new art sculpture and accidentally breaking it. Goku stands over the wreckage of the artwork. He runs his hand over his head. Goku says, I have to find Vegeta," said Goku with a little pain from the impact he suffered with the work of art. Because Goku simply appeared inside Vegeta and Bulma's house, the security system ended up alerting Vegeta, who was in another room of the house, about the invasion. Vegeta had already felt Goku's ki and therefore wasn't worried, just irritated and with a little doubt about what Goku was doing there. Vegeta then hurries to where Goku was. Goku was in the same place where he had broken the artwork, as he had noticed that Vegeta was approaching. Goku thought, "Geez, will Vegeta be annoyed that I broke this?" said Goku with a nervous smile on his face, as he looked at Vegeta, who arrived and was in front of his rival. Vegeta says, "But what are you doing here, Kakarot? Have you gone mad?" Vegeta suddenly stopped talking and he noticed the sculpture that Goku had broken. Vegeta gets extremely angry with Goku and says, "My god, Kakarot, you have no idea what you've done. Bulma had just bought this sculpture in an extremely valuable exhibition," said Vegeta as he glared at Goku, who was calmly getting up. With that, we'll end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes in the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on another day, guys.